Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Mythic and AZ Sports Fan bringing you guys another stream. If you guys are new, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. As you guys see, man, we are going to be discussing Kyler Murray coming back. Our franchise quarterback and Budda Baker is finally back. AZ, how you doing? Are you not able to hear? You can't hear? You can't hear. All right, 1 second, guys. Let's see real quick. You able to hear me? Hold on 1 second. Let me go ahead and see if I can fix that real quick. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Are you able to hear me? No, still not. Keep going. Okay, gotcha. All right, so today we're going to be discussing, though, Kyler Murray is finally back, guys. Kyler Murray, our franchise quarterback, is returning. How are you guys feeling about this? Because a lot of people said this season that he wasn't even going to play. So here we are. Kyler Murray is back, and guess what? A lot of people are going to get proved wrong this season. So, I mean, I'm ready for it. Are you able to hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now. What's up, everybody?
There we go. All right, we were just talking about Kyler coming back. We just dove in a little bit. A big news. Big news.
Huge news, man. Obviously, guys, if you guys don't know, I'm not in my studio. I'm in the beautiful world of a different city right now. I'm wearing a jacket because it's freaking cold here. And Arizonians are not really good with cold weather, so.
Someone said, just sign language us. Just sign language it up. You don't need to talk today. I mean, we got fantastic news, though. I mean, you're not in state right now. You're currently on vacation, but we had to do an emergency pod. This is the biggest news of the season so far. We had to get something going. How are you feeling just overall? Like, we had the generalization that this news was going to crack today, and just, like, seeing it on your phone, it was a great feeling. Like, I was waiting all day, all morning long, just trying to get that notification to pop up, and it finally hit me, and I was like, let's go, and we're finally here.
Yeah, man. Well, it's a lot of different news that we got, right? But yeah, the Kyler Murray is going to be the one that's making headlines everywhere because I ended up messaging you on Monday, and I told you too. I was like, we're not going to do the Wednesday show because I'm going to be out of town, and it's just not going to work. But then we were like, something's going to happen. I could feel it. That Kyler, there's news in it. Yeah, boom. But yeah, when I first heard it, I was like, damn. Like, let's go. Like, this is bringing a level of excitement back to the season, and you can tell, right? You have a channel, I have a channel, and it just doesn't feel the same when Josh Dobbs is back there compared to Kyler Murray's coming back there. Now, it's not for certain that he's going to be playing or actually, it was already shut down. He's going to be playing week 7 because we know he's not going to play week 7. Yeah. But still, the idea of him coming back and almost being here is better than not, and not being strung along.
Just the anomaly of Josh Dobbs playing for the remainder of the season. It's nice knowing that this is like an actual thing, and we're not having to fight the rumors and the allegations of Kyler Murray sitting out the entire season. Like, it's here. All the coaches want Kyler Murray to play, but we're obviously waiting for him to be fully healthy. They're not going to rush him. But someone else who did get activated today as well, that a lot of people, fan favorite, the best player on this team, arguably, I would say it, is Budda freaking Baker. He is back as well. How are you feeling?
Man, is this heart and soul of the defense, right? Like you said before, that the defense is, or the heart and soul of the team. I'm excited, honestly. He ended up putting I think it was like a ninja on his Twitter. I think it was either yesterday, and it was kind of news that we're all kind of been waiting for as well. And it's just the cherry on top of the ice cream. I think a lot of Cardinal fans are really excited right now because we're getting the pieces that we're longed for, man. We're a 1-5 team, but we could have easily been a 3-0 team, right, heading into week 4. So we just need our pieces back, and I think we can start making some noise once we get Budda back and Kyler back. And man, I'm stoked, bro. I'm stoked.
It really feels like just like energy has been brought back and just breathed back into life within the organization. Like, it feels like we were dead, very stagnant, just trending down. And then this news drops, and we knew it was going to happen. We just didn't know when. Yep. And boom, it drops. And I feel like just life has been breathed into the organization. Like, it just feels so different than it did yesterday. I don't know if you feel the same way, but like, I feel great going forward.
No, I feel it too, man. Honestly, you can tell. You can tell that this Arizona Cardinal organization doesn't run based off of what Josh Dobbs is going to do in week whatever, right? It's Kyler Murray's team. It's the fact of the nature that I think most fans that don't watch weekly but love to stay in the tune with the Arizona Cardinals is the fact that he's the face, man. Kyler's the face of this organization, and I think once we heard he's coming back, it just brings the level of, man, more optimism, and we're not saying playoff push, but like competitive football back, right? Because we've been hanging our hat on the idea of moral victories here and there, but honestly, right now with Kyler Murray, man, I'll put this roster up with anybody. I'm that stoked, man. Kyler
Yeah.
Murray's a difference maker, and I'm excited.
It's crazy that the like shift from Josh Dobbs to Kyler is like I feel like we can compete with anybody, and that might just be us being delusional because
Yeah.
obviously we're Cardinals fans, so we're used to being a little bit delusional here and
True.
there. But like it just feels like you have a franchise player, two franchise cornerstones, just like returning. It's like, oh my gosh, everything has been restored. Like life has meaning again. It feels great. It's just so bizarre that these two players, and I feel it. Like a lot of players or a lot of people, like all these doubters of Kyler Murray, it just feels like they vanished off the face of the earth. I haven't heard much of anybody talking about this move and just talking down upon it. Like everybody seems to be excited.
Well, here's the thing, man. I remember, so I made two videos. I made one yesterday, and it was the very first car video that I've done in a very, very long time. And I still remember the comments on there because I love to read all the comments, although I don't heart them all. It doesn't mean I don't read them or I don't respond to all. It doesn't mean I don't read them. I remember one specifically saying basically like, this is all just rumors, right? This is all just basically speculations of what we've been doing for the past weeks, right? But this gave a little bit more like right? There was a little bit more reporting to come out here. It wasn't just somebody randomly saying, oh, we think it's going to be this week, right? After the whole Jonathan Gannon on the Arizona Sports coming out on Monday, they're led to believe that there was going to be some serious traction being moved either this week or the following weekend. We got one of the biggest guys out here in Arizona Sports, John Gabadoro, coming out here saying that it's either going to be this week or next week. And it was true. It's true. He started practicing today, and man, I'm excited, bro. I'm so stoked.
I couldn't be happier. And you even have Hollywood Brown coming out saying he's not coming back to be average. He's coming out to prove a point. Like Kyler, he's been listening. I promise you, whether you believe it or not, you think Kyler's just deflecting everything and he's just not hearing anything. He has heard everything that is said, the past 9-10 months. He's listening. He knows what's going on. He knows people are saying they want Caleb Williams. He knows that people want him gone. Like I promise you, he is coming to prove that he is the best, one of the best, not the best, but he is one of the best quarterbacks once again. And Hollywood said it himself.
Yeah, and honestly, Hollywood obviously is a good, really, really good friend of Kyler. So I mean, I don't expect anything different, but it's just adding that extra oomph of Kyler's legit, man. At one point we were talking about Kyler MVP, right? And of course, his career ended up taking a big turn when we ended up only winning 4 games. But a lot of people just like to believe that it's all Kyler, and not the regime that we ended up having. Now, it could be Kyler too, but there was a lot of pent-up frustration in that last year. And I think the Cardinals organization needed to do something different, and they believe in their franchise quarterback. So they made the move, and now we're with JG. And honestly, I think sky's the limit to see what he's going to do with Drew Petzing. And hearing Marquis saying that and bat for his guy is just, it's huge. It's huge.
It's great to hear. Like I said, the optimism is back in the organization. It feels like we were just at such a stall point, and now here we are, just life breathed within the organization. I can't wait. I feel like Budda Baker will transcend the secondary once again. The secondary that has been awful all season long. I feel like the secondary is going to take a huge step up, and that could also be because we have another guy potentially returning in the next couple of weeks, and that is Garrett Williams, 3rd round draft pick by the Arizona Cardinals. Could have easily been a 1st rounder. What do you think Garrett Williams is going to do with, because he might return this week?
Yeah.
This is the week he might return. So how are you feeling if he does return to the secondary?
Just kind of how we felt last week, right? I think there was a little bit of positivity about him maybe starting last week, but I think maybe now it's starting to be a little bit more real this week. I think it's just going to give us an extra juice here in the secondary because we've been struggling, man. It's just to call us burnt toast is an understatement. Like we've been bad, man. We've given historic numbers out to the opposition for weeks on weeks, and I think we've been missing Budda Baker. We've been missing his leadership. We've been missing some cornerbacks that just, although we want to believe that they're going to get better and better, it's just they're not doing it, right? So I think Garrett Williams is going to get us a level of something to look forward to, right? So even if he's not going to be as great as we all hope he's going to become, I think it's a step in the right direction here for the Arizona Cardinals. And I think, he was supposed to be a first rounder. Let's not get it twisted. He was supposed to be a first rounder, but unfortunately he got hurt, and he wasn't able to go that high in the draft. But the Cardinals snagged him, and I think we have a lot of potential here with this young kid. So I'm optimistic that we might see him.
Like, I genuinely think that within the first 3 games of his career, he'll be the best corner on the roster.
Oh, yeah.
I really think so. Like, even if he takes the field next week, he might be the best corner on the roster. And that's kind of saying something, because Marco's been with us for 3 weeks, and we have people telling us in our chats all the time to trade Marco Wilson for a bag of paper clips and a freaking toothbrush. So, like, I mean, like, that just goes to show that our corner room is just super weak. Cottrell Clark was balling out, just hasn't had it. Maybe he'll fall back in like a deeper role, is at like CB3 and he'll ball out there, but he's just not doing it at CB2, CB1, wherever he is. He's just not able to hold his own right now. And maybe bolstering up the secondary with Garrett Williams, Budda Baker, and Jalen Thompson whenever he's ready. Like, even just throwing these names out, it's just, I'm so excited. Like, even if it's not Seattle, it's going to be the next week, and I'm going to be so pumped. Because Budda Baker, no one knows his status. Kyler Murray's not playing this next week. We all know that. But Budda Baker's status is still up in the air. We really have no idea where that's going to take a toll. So, like, Budda Baker might suit up this Sunday. His debut might be this week. It hasn't been shut down. Kyler was instantly shut down. Budda wasn't for a reason. This coaching staff doesn't know. They got to evaluate him, let him practice. And it is Budda Baker we're talking about. If this man had 2 broken legs, he would probably find a way to suit up. If the game meant that much, he would find a way to suit it.
Yeah, true. You're right. He wasn't rolled out yet. Obviously, Thursday and Friday is going to be where we're going to get the most of the information, but it seems pretty optimistic that he might be. But as of right now, it's up in the air. The Seattle game, it might be one of those. Obviously, it's a division game, so we're kind of, I don't know how to take that game, but I think everything's just optimistic about Kyler Murray coming back. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, the offense, the point, literally the problem that we've had all season long is not being able to do anything at the quarterback position. Like, we're playing very vanilla offense, just trying not to turn the ball over. Like, you're going into the game basically with the notation that you just don't want to turn the ball over. Like, obviously that's how football is supposed to be played. You don't want to turn it over, but it's like, that's like the focal point. Like, okay, let's just do what we can not to do anything stupid. Let's not take deep shots. Let's be very limited with what we can do. We have a weapon. Like, Kyler is not only one of the best quarterbacks, he is a weapon. And he might not have the mobility that he once had off the rip. Like, let's not expect Kyler Murray to come in here and 40 yards rushing game 1. He's probably not going to be in that mindset. He's probably going to be trying to get the passing game down. And, I mean, if he has to take off, he'll probably take off, Yeah. But I don't imagine Kyler coming in here and just scrambling his butt off. I just can't see that happening. It's going to take a couple games for him to kind of just situate himself. And once he's there, I feel like we're going to see the Kyler Murray that we've always seen. And that's a high-level football player. You kind of believe the same thing?
Yeah, I agree. I think with the Kyler Murray situation, we're dealing with a quarterback that obviously has the skill set to do it, right? He can make those throws. He was praised for being very accurate, and I think those big long balls we've been missing with Josh Dobbs because he just hasn't been able to do it for the Arizona Cardinals. But we're also going to be seeing a different Kyler Murray. We're going to be seeing a Kyler Murray that's going to be under center a lot more than it was ever under center under the Cliff Kingsbury regime. So we're going to see a different Kyler Murray, and I'm excited. I think he's going to flourish. We're going to see a lot more bootlegs, exactly what Josh Dobbs is going to do. But the biggest thing is that Kyler Murray is going to be able to connect those big long balls,
Exactly.
which we haven't been able to see so far with Josh Dobbs.
And a lot of Cardinals fans do realize that is a glaring hole. 2 touchdowns off the board last game, just off of bad passes. Like, great reads, just the balls weren't able to be caught. Like, they're out of bounds. They're sailing over him. They're underthrown. Like, these balls aren't catchable. Kyler Murray will make these catchable, and he'll put it on a zip too. That's the thing. Even Michael Wilson, first practice, he's like, I couldn't stop staring at him. I don't remember the exact quote, but he's like, I couldn't stop staring at him. Like, you could see why he's a top pick. He just has the zip on the ball. Go watch Kyler in practice. In his first couple throws, you can just tell that thing is coming out on fire. So I'm just really pumped, man. I don't know where this is going to go.
Yeah, also being able to make the balls like throwing. I mean, and we're not trying to discredit anything that Dobbs has done for us. And so everybody in the chat, simmer down. We're not saying Dobbs is dog water. It's just
trash.
This is a new level of Cardinal football, right? And I think this is exactly what we've been longing to see for the start of the season, right? We're heading into freaking week 7, for God's sakes, and all we could talk about is freaking Kyler Murray when he's coming back, and he's going to come back here sooner rather than later. And I think this is exactly what we're waiting for. And we'll see, right? We'll see.
We will see. And speaking of Kyler's return, because it's not going to be this week.
Yeah.
What game and how many weeks do you think it's going to take? Do you think it'll take the full 21 days? Do you think it'll take the full 3 weeks? Or do you think we'll see him potentially after this week? Like, where do you think we'll play? Because in the next 3 games, we have the Seattle Seahawks, the Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns, and Atlanta Falcons. Where do you think he'll play? What's his first game going to be?
So the 21-day window, so to be 3 weeks from today, is the start. So obviously, no Seahawks. We know he's not going to be playing in the Seahawks game. Although I would love to see him in the Baltimore Ravens game because that would be cool. Lamar versus Kyler. I'm having a feeling there might be 2 weeks before. Now, obviously, I want to see him in the Ravens game, but just to make my prediction, I'll probably say the one after. And then you said that's the Falcons.
Yes.
Yeah.
After the Ravens.
Yeah.
After the Ravens is the Browns.
Oh, it's the Browns. Is that an away game or here?
Let me check. I believe it's an away. Yeah, it's an away game. So it's in Cleveland. I think they'll wait this thing out. Like I genuinely do. I think so. Because do you want to bring Kyler back because the Ravens and Browns defenses are ridiculous. Do you want to put him behind that line and be like, okay, your first game is going to be against Myles Garrett? I don't know if that's smart. I don't know if they're going to do that because the Browns, I mean, they got to San Fran almost every play, it looked like. Yeah. They were getting after it. So do you want your quarterback to be under that much pressure and just scrutiny? Game 1, I don't know. The Falcons are probably the best game for him to kind of be comfortable with himself. It would suck to have him wait that 21-day window, but it's probably the smartest. That's kind of where I looked at it. And if you look at the 21 days, that's probably the best one.
Is that where it lands?
I believe so. Because 3 weeks out would put him, because they could activate him in 21 days. So that would be the Seahawks game, Ravens, Browns in the middle of the week against the Falcons. He'd still be able to practice and then just active roster. I think that's the smartest because that Browns defense would kill. And I mean, if he's good to go against, I don't even know.
But that's the thing too. But if he's good to go, why wait? You know what I mean? It's here. I mean, it depends, right? Obviously, I think JG knows him a lot better than we would, and I think as Cardinal fans, the expectation is that let's go right, let's get this going. But why wait? In my personal opinion, if he's ready to go, if he's not, then okay, well, I understand. But if he's ready to go,
I feel you though. I feel you. It's tough though. That's a tough call. Jonathan Gannon is going to have to make that decision because if he doesn't play. And it leads into that Cleveland week, and he's like genuinely ready to go. I don't know, because that's definitely a test. That is definitely the biggest test in the league because Cleveland might have the best defense. Like in my opinion, they're top 3. They're top 3 for sure. You can make the argument for a bunch of teams, but Cleveland is top 3. So do you just go ahead and just let it fly and just be like, okay, Kyler, go do your thing, or do you wait that extra week? I don't know because the Falcons versus the Browns defense is very different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
very different.
True. Oh man, this is a tough one. This is why we're not a head coach, right? This is why we're not making those tough decisions. But we're also not privy to the information that obviously JG and Monty and Kyler know. Yeah. That's the thing. Like obviously this week isn't going to be a no-go. I'm kind of like going back and forth because I think your points are very valid in terms of giving him a easier matchup, but like. We just talked about Kyler being a potential top 10, top 12, 15 type of quarterback here. If you're not going to test yourselves to the limits here and only getting these little, these little dink and duck type of thing, then when you actually are going against a good defense, you're not getting the reps. It's almost kind of one of those things where it's just going to kind of be like screwing yours either way.
I feel it.
You know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's tough. It is tough. It is.
There's valid points both sides, and I think it would honestly just come down to where the record is. If we're still 1 win going into Cleveland, I'm not playing him. I really wouldn't. I wouldn't. That's just me personally. If we still have 1 win, we're 1-7, 1-8, whatever that record is. If we're 1-8, there's no point to rush him. We'll see what you have later down the line. We'll get you developed a little bit, and we'll just get this thing going. But if you have a record of 1-8, there's no point. You're still going to play him because you still need to evaluate the quarterback at the end of the day. But there's no point to just throw him back against potentially the number 1 defense in the league and just be like, okay, yeah, go do your thing. Go take a bunch of hits and be under pressure constantly in your first game back from an ACL tear. That's probably not the smartest thing to do in a dead season. But I mean, it could go either way. It
Yeah,
really could.
do you think Dobbs might be able to come out with a dub here in the Seahawks game? Because that could change some shit too. I mean, I'm sorry, change some things too.
if we can pull off, I don't even know. These next 2 games are tough because the Seahawks could pour it on. This offense is crazy. Kenneth Walker, it feels like he gets in the end zone every single game. Then you have 2 great receivers on the outside and Tyler Lockett, who's kind of getting things going right now. And then DK Metcalf is obviously DK Metcalf. If he wants to stop punching people, he'll be solid. Yeah. And then Geno Smith is the X factor, you know? If Geno Smith turns the ball over, I feel like we have a genuine chance. Do you think we got a shot?
I would feel a lot more confident if we had James Conner. That's no doubt.
Yes.
That's definitely no doubt. And if we get a Budda Baker back, I feel more confident as well. But we just need to see Dobbs get those deep throws down, Marquise, and throw the ball to Michael freaking Wilson for God's sakes. It's a lot of up in the air.
I made my prediction. I said we were going to lose like 31-18, right? Like 31-18. And this is before we got Budda back. And it's one player, and a bunch of people are probably going to be like, it's just one player. Why is your prediction going to change? I feel like we got a close ball game. If Budda actually suits up, this game is going to be a lot closer. Our secondary looked atrocious. And Jalen Thompson's still up in the air. I mean, we have no idea.
True.
No idea what's going on with Jalen Thompson. If both of those guys come back, completely different story. I think we have a legit shot because Josh Dobbs will play solid enough. It's just no James Conner still hurts. That 4-week minimum of him gone kills the offense. It still kills it. I'm going to stand on that. Josh Dobbs can't miss throws. He has to play almost perfect football. He can't have 20 incompletions. And we saw what he did last game. So, I mean, it's hard to look at that and be like, you turned the ball over twice, a pick, and then you fumbled later in the game. And that pick was really bad because we're in the red zone, inside the 20. And then Josh Dobbs throws the ball not only late, but he throws it behind him.
Yeah.
So
the interception happened from that.
Yeah, bro. And it was what, 9-16? Yeah. I mean, that ball game is close. I mean, we get in the end zone, we go for 2, or I don't even remember what the score, maybe 9-16 is the score. That's a 7-point game. You could have tied it up. So Josh Dobbs just has to be on point, and I think he will clean it up. I feel like it's going to be very hard to replicate a 20 incompletion and 2 turnover game. You know, it's only going to get better, in my opinion. I feel like it's a lot harder to get worse than better in this one. And if Josh Dobbs can clean things up, I think we have a legit shot. But we also need Budda and Jalen to come back. And maybe Garrett Williams comes back, and then I'm going to feel so much more confident, even though our run defense is non-existent.
Yeah, true. Well, that's the thing. I mean, if we're scoring points, I mean, our defense can continue to do what we're doing. The issue is that our offense is continuing to struggle in the second half, and we can't move the ball, and it's putting our defense that's already hurt back on the field. And what are we supposed to do as, a defense keeps keeping the slack up? Like, our offense needs to run, and we're just not doing it. So if we can clean it up, I have confidence that this defense, although, yes, I know we have a lot of holes, I have confidence that this defense can do what we need to do to win, as long as our offense can figure their SHIT out.
Exactly. The offense is the big X factor here.
Yeah.
And then we just got a contribution from AZ Fanny said, K1 is back, baby. The league better watch out. K1 is about to bring H-Fire to this league for putting dirt on his name. F. Caleb Williams, he says, and K1 rules. I feel like we're all in the same boat. It's drop the Caleb Williams drama. We're done. We're done with the Caleb Williams. Yeah. We're on to the Kyler Murray show. We can't wait. We want to see this man suit back up in a Cardinals jersey. The new Cardinals jerseys, might we add. And just see some electric football, some winning football brought back to the organization. I feel like we're all on the same boat here.
Yeah, no, I agree. And thank you so much for the contribution, AZ fan.
Absolutely.
I'll show you some yellow leaves right here. You don't see yellow leaves in Arizona at all, so there's some yellow leaves. But yeah, no, I agree. The Caleb Williams thing is so freaking weird. It almost, did you hear that thing that kind of came out where it's saying that whoever drafts him, he wants a part ownership? This is the dumbest thing I've heard of. Like, what is going on with this guy? Like, either this is just crazy stuff that's been made up, or he really feels this way, or it's a deterrent for any team to try to pick him up. Like, it's just wild, man. This kid's wild.
But if it's like a deterrent to any team, I mean, he's hurting his draft stock with everybody.
Yeah,
like,
no, exactly.
We get the talent is there, but like, you're just gonna mess your draft stock up. Like, what if you drop to 7?
True.
Like, I mean, you're losing money there, but I mean, do you really think you're that good of a quarterback? Like, genuinely, I feel like Caleb Williams is like, he's a good college quarterback. Will he pan out in the NFL as much as people are saying, and he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league? Don't know. I mean, he's acting like he's Aaron Rodgers because, like, when Aaron
Right.
Rodgers got traded to the Jets, he was like, "Yeah, I would like ownership." The man has made millions and millions
Yeah.
and millions of dollars. He's 38 years old. I kind of understand that a little bit. You know, it'd be cool to transition from a player, play 2 years with the organization, then transition into ownership. This guy is 23, like, freaking years old, and he's wanting ownership right now. Like, what kind of money do you have to demand those kinds of things?
It's a different world, man. The college kids these days are making money off the was it NIL money? Like it's wild, man. They're making money now. Granted, it's not NFL money, but you can live off of that type of money if you get yourself
easily.
You
But
can get yourself
ownership?
a small house. Yeah, ownership. No, you're that's kibbles compared to ownership, man.
Exactly. Like these are billions of dollars we're talking about. Even if you're a minority owner and you have like a minority stake, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Even if you ink that NFL deal, like get out of here, bro. And then we have another contribution right here from my guy. He says, I can't wait to see K1 with Rondale Moore in this offense. Do you think this unlocks Rondale Moore a little bit?
I hope so. Yeah, Illa Dre, appreciate you, man. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you so much for coming back. Yeah, to be honest with you, I hope so. You know, Rondale Moore has been one of those guys that I think a lot of us want to see him at the highest form level, and I know he's got the potential to be very good. It's just, I don't know, we just haven't seen the consistency with Rondale Moore, and that's Cliff / the Drew Petzing's offense. So I hope so. I hope so. To be honest with you, like I'm really more excited about Michael Wilson. Like I don't know what it is, and I'm not trying to put anything bad on Rondale Moore, but like he's been in the league for quite some time, and he's taken the opportunities. I think he's looked good. But Michael Wilson, man, when he's given the opportunity, this guy has been good. So I'm more excited about him than I am about Rondale.
I feel like Rondale Moore might be the odd man out. And this is a bold prediction within itself because Rondale Moore might be the guy that this is like crazy talk. Like, no one knows, but Rondale Moore might be the odd guy out. He might get traded in the offseason. I mean, depending on what's available. Like maybe we pick up Marvin Harrison, Rondale Moore might get the assets back. Maybe we go for CD Lamb. Who knows? Who freaking knows? Rondale Moore might be that guy.
Well, think about it. I mean, let's say, for example, we are in a situation with Marvin Harrison Jr., and this is obviously going to cause a trade up, right? Because if we're talking Kyler Murray's coming back and we're like, we're going to win, we're not going to get Marvin Harrison with, whatever wins Kyler Murray's going to get us. But if we do decide to trade up to get that wide receiver, we got Michael Wilson, we got Marvin Harrison Jr., and we decide to pay Marquise Hollywood Brown because that's Kyler's boy.
And that's also the smart thing to do.
Exactly. we got a solid wide receiving core right there. So I think it's all just dependent on what happens, but we could have a very, very good wide receiving core. And even if it isn't Marvin Harrison Jr. and we get another stud wide receiver in the draft or even free agency, because we're going to have so much money, we'll see.
Exactly. And like Rondale Moore, like it just feels like he has like all the tools to be good. He has all the tools to be good. And for whatever reason, I mean, you can blame it on a coaching staff as much as you want. It's just the play on the field has to be there too. And obviously I'm not saying that Rondale Moore's gotten every single chance in the world, but he's been put in the backfield. I mean, he's been spread all across in every single formation. I mean, he's lined out wide. He's lined in the slot. He's lined under center. I mean, he's everywhere. So, I mean, I don't know. They're trying to get him touches and there's no doubt about it. So we just need him to make plays at the end of the day. And if he does that, I mean, he's a playmaker. This is what he does. This is what Rondale Moore does. He's a playmaker. He's a crazy gadget player. This is what he does. And I don't like calling him a gadget player. I feel like calling anybody a gadget player nowadays is like, I don't know. I'm just so deterred because of Cliff. You know what I mean? Like everybody's a freaking gadget player. Like every oldest gadget player. Hate the word now. Like Chase Edmonds was a gadget player. Rondale Moore is a gadget player. Andy Isabella is a gadget player. So I just want to see Rondale Moore take a step and be like a Deebo Samuel, even though he's not very similar in terms of build and play, because he's not a big body, 6 foot, whatever receiver. He's a little 5'9" receiver, extremely fast. That's what he does. But I mean, it's just like similar skill sets. You know, you can put him in the backfield. You can line him out wide. You can line him in the slot. You can make plays anywhere. I just want to see a step up from Rondale Moore. If not, could be the odd man out.
No, I agree with that. We'll have to see. I think Marquise Hollywood Brown and Kyler Murray coming back, I see it less as him being traded away now, right? Because I know we talked about him possibly getting traded in the trade deadline, but with Kyler Murray coming back, do you think he's definitely not getting traded now?
Who, Hollywood?
Yeah, Hollywood, yeah.
I feel like with Kyler coming back, I feel like it kind of like backtracks a lot of the things that I said too, because I feel like I don't know. I just needed to see it happen. Like until it happened, it's like these players should be on the block. You should just see what you can get. And I don't know. I feel like now that they're back, like there's just life within the organization. And now that it's actually coming to fruition, I kind of just like backtrack on the things. Like Hollywood, you don't want to trade them. I mean, you just want to see what you have. And it's like finally coming like this, the prophecy has come to fruition. Kyler's back. So it's like you just got to see what you have, you know? I don't want to trade Budda. I've said Budda is a player that is on, like, you should just see what you can get. Don't trade him away, though. Like, if it's like a first and a second or some crazy anything, then you probably pull the trigger. And that's just what it is. He's an aging safety. You want to do right by him.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I do not want to trade Budda Baker. I'm going to make this very clear. Same thing with Hollywood Brown. I think he'd be great. We let Christian Kirk walk for like $16 million. Hollywood's probably going to command like a little more than that. I mean, I feel like Hollywood's a better player than Christian Kirk. So, I mean, it's worth it in my opinion. So you pay the 18 to 20 million that he's going to command. I feel like that's fair, but I don't know. I feel like you just can't let him go for nothing. And you could see what you could get for him because there's still teams calling around, but I don't know. I'm just not giving him to Carolina for nothing.
Right. No, I agree.
I would like to keep both of them in an ideal world. Honestly, I really would. I don't think you should trade either of them, especially if it pans out. You just got your franchise quarterback. And if this is the direction they want to go with Kyler Murray, I feel like you retain as much talent as possible. You don't want to push yourself further back in a rebuild.
Right. You don't want to give the guy not weapons, bring your franchise quarterback back for sure. Yeah, you don't want to take his weapons away. That's the truth.
Exactly, because that could age very, very, very poorly. I mean, you take away his weapons and you're looking like Bryce Young in Carolina. I mean, what do you got? You got Adam Thielen and no line, no secondary receiver. They're trying to trade for someone because Adam Thielen is like 37. I mean, if you could have Adam Thielen as a wide receiver too, that's fine. Yeah. We have a guy right now in Hollywood Brown that would transcend that offense a lot more. So I feel like you retain him and Kyler are boys. You just see what you got there.
Yeah, no, I agree with that take for sure. I 100% agree.
And then something else that happened within the week. I mean, talk about a crazy week for Cardinals football, man. I mean, we have been going through the emotions because just before this, Myjai Sanders, our third round pick in 2022, just got cut. Yeah. And a lot of people, including myself, honestly thought that Myjai Sanders was going to be a lot better than what he showed. And granted, he was injured for a lot of the parts, and we are super crowded at the outside linebacker position. But this was a surprising cut. Were you surprised hearing this news just on a random Tuesday? Like, it's just super random.
Yeah, random Tuesday indeed. Oh, yeah, 100%. I think a lot of us Cardinal fans were excited about the opportunity of seeing him, but it was always kind of an injury bug, always on him. And, of course, with this new regime coming up, nothing really changed. So, yeah, I was surprised that they went ahead and just flat out released him. Now, there was a report that came out that said that they are going to try to trade him, but there was no trade value. There's no market for Myjai Sanders. So I think the Cardinals try to do their due diligence, but wasn't he just picked up? I think
just
by
the Texans.
Something.
The Texans.
Sheesh. And
that's insane, bro. I mean, the Texans, I feel like are going to find a way to utilize him. Him and Will Anderson, you just crack him into the rotation.
Oh, snap.
I don't know what defense they run, so I'm pretty sure he would be a defensive end and not an outside linebacker in there because I believe they run a 4-3, if I'm not mistaken.
Believe so. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not 100% sure, but if they run a 4-3, I mean, he's going to be a defensive end for him. And I don't know, man. I feel like Myjai Sanders has a lot of untapped potential. And I mean, he showed flashes on the field, just really couldn't stay on it. And obviously, we don't know if anything else happened because it was a random cut. And stories tend to come out too. So, I mean, there might have been something internally, like who knows, maybe the coaches and him clashed or something. Like, we don't know. I mean, we really don't. But the outside linebacker room that we have right now is currently insanely crowded. Like if we go through it, we have Zaven Collins, we have Dennis Gardick, we have BJ Ojolari, who's I don't even know if he's played over 50% of the snaps in one game. You want to get him a lot more involved as a second round pick. You have Victor Dimukeje, who I think is better than Myjai Sanders right now. You have Cam Thomas, who I don't even know how many, 44% of the snaps played last game?
Yeah, something like that, I believe.
I feel like Cam Thomas is better than Myjai, and then Myjai just can't stay on the field. I mean, we can't see what he has if he can't stay on the field, and I was super high on him coming out of college.
That's the problem. He just can't stay on the field, and we have such a loaded outside linebacking group right now, or at least a good amount of these young players that we are all kind of excited to see. And honestly, I don't think there's any one player that I'm rooting for more. I love it, man. I love the collectiveness, but I also do want to see one of them stand out and rise up. And I'm really holding hope that BJ Ojulari is going to be that guy. Just because we just picked him up in the second round and
Yeah.
we haven't really seen very much about him yet, but I'm really happy and hopefully excited to see if this guy's going to be the next best pass rusher for us. Yeah.
Next stud at the outside
Yeah.
linebacker. I mean,
Yeah.
we've always had one guy on the line or on the edge, and it was
Yeah.
Chandler Jones, it was Calais Campbell. I mean, we've had guys on the line who have been wreaking havoc, and right now we don't have that JJ Watt. Like, we got to have somebody. I mean, who's going to step up and be that guy? I really don't know. And I feel like this coaching staff, I feel like they're really high on Zaven Collins.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of opportunity, especially when he moved out to that new position. He's definitely getting a lot of opportunity, and I'm glad. This is probably one of the most we've seen him flash, although it's not like superstar numbers, but it's definitely very good numbers. So can't obviously not take anything away from him. I think he's definitely done really good. Better than the middle linebacking position that he's been in, or at least But that's the thing. Like, you can't really judge off of obviously what Vance Joseph's defense would now. I think
it's horrible. Denver, I mean, we're seeing what's happening. It's not a good defense.
Yeah, Denver's there's reports coming out here saying that Vance Joseph might get canned
for Rex Ryan.
Yeah, so it's like there's this whole situation, right? It's like you can't sometimes blame these players, right? Like, these coaches are the ones that are supposed to be putting these guys in the best position to succeed, and a lot of times, believe it or not, although they get paid a lot of money, they don't, right? Sometimes it's selfishness from these coaches because they so badly believe in their system, or they don't want to move off of their system because they truly feel like if it's executed correctly, it should work. But let's be honest, man, like, you got to get a coach to really, really take a player under their wing and want them to win. Just like Tom Brady. If Bill Belichick wasn't there, we probably would never even seen who Tom Brady ever was. Correct. You know what I mean? You got to get a coach that truly believes in you and actually wants to work with you. And Vance Joseph just wasn't that guy, man. He was not that guy.
He was not that guy, pal. He was not that guy.
Yep.
I don't know. I feel like Myjai Sanders is going to do some good things. And, I mean, he brings up a good point right here. If you guys see, he says Myjai Sanders is slender. He can't defend the run. Very true. I mean, this is a concern coming out of college. Yeah. If you deep dove, people were concerned about his weight. That was one of the biggest concerns. And, I mean, he is slender, but, I mean, he also just can't stay on the field. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a lot of things. And if you can't defend the run, especially in this scheme, I mean, the Cardinals are atrocious right now. Just as anything stands, defending passes, runs, we can't do anything. I mean, it's bad as it stands. I mean, we're just getting diced in by Christian McCaffrey, Jamar Chase, freaking Brandon Ayuk. We're just getting done it. So maybe Myjai Sanders wasn't a fit for him. Like, we really don't know, you know? It just comes down to internal things.
Yeah, and he's Kimes guy, man. He's Kimes guy.
Exactly, you know? No ties.
He's not Monty Olsenfort's dude, so I don't think they really had, thinking about it too much. I think they would love to get maybe a late round pick for him, but being that there's no market, let's see what he does with the Texans at this very moment. We just got to worry with who we have on our roster and see if they can get better.
Exactly, they're building a football team how they want to, and I'm on board with it. Like, if they didn't see him fit, I mean, I'm on board with it. I like Myjai Sanders coming out of college, but if they don't see him as a fit, I'm with it. Monty Olsenfort hasn't done a bad thing yet.
I agree. The
draft was a hit. I mean, he's trading people. Isaiah Simmons didn't pan out. Like, the only thing that you could have said is semi-controversial is releasing DeAndre Hopkins. But if he doesn't want to be here, he doesn't want to be here. You don't just hold him here because he doesn't want to be here. I mean, you did right. There has been no mistakes, honestly, in Monty Olsenfort's little regime that he's had so far in less than a year.
Yeah. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins wanted to be here. I think that's the bottom line.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And you just do right by him and be like, okay, cool. You know what? Couldn't get anything for you. Sayonara. And I mean, he's playing with Ryan Tannehill right now. I promise you that offense is not more explosive than this one with Kyler Murray will be. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree.
I mean, hey, I guess we'll find out. I mean, we have a lot of question marks that need to be answered. And I feel like everybody, like we've said, with this guy back at quarterback, Kyler Murray, and with this guy back in the secondary in Budda Baker, we have so much freaking excitement. It is unreal. It is unreal.
It is, man. And I think kudos. I'm happy. I know we're heading into week 7. We're in the NFL. It's not like we're just starting it, but this is something that every single day, every single week we're talking about when it's Kyler Murray coming back. And this is the step that we've been waiting for right here. Right here. This is the step. And I think Cardinal fans should be excited. And you can tell that there's a lot of Cardinal fans excited that Kyler Murray is at least practicing now.
Like, it's insane. Like, I feel like a lot of the haters just kind of went hush mode. They're kind of just vanishing off. We're seeing a lot of the supporters come back and rally back. You see a lot of people willing to tune back into Cardinal football.
Yeah.
The optimism like this, And my comment section on the video I just posted has not been like this all season long outside of those first 3 weeks. After week 4, I haven't seen this kind of optimism.
Well, I mean, think about it, man. Just all these things that you were heard about, and I don't blame fans, man. It's hard to stick with one person and believe everything that you're hearing because, honestly, as Cardinal fans, we were put through the ringer this offseason and just this season alone, man. We've been hearing things like, "Oh, it's for the best for Kyler Murray not to play because there is an injury settlement," and now people put that in their heads that, "Oh, well, why risk him, right? Because this, and that." And some people, there was a report that came out said that the Cardinals will not have Kyler Murray this time next year, and it's just. Some people have something set in their head with whoever they decide to believe, and they roll with it. But I mean, now I think let's just see what happens, right? I think this is a step in the right direction for Cardinal football. And if he pans out to be the guy that me and you want him to be and hope he's going to be, franchise quarterback he is, and we don't have to worry about that come draft.
Do you think Kyler Murray comes out on fire?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Here, and that's the thing too. Like deep down, I truly believe that Kyler Murray, like. The way that I hope that like they don't want to play him because these are tough defenses, because Cardinal fans right now, or at least myself, I can't speak for Cardinal fans, but for myself, I'm willing to give 2 weeks, 1 week, or 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe even 3 weeks to say, okay, hey, this is one of those opportunities that's a tough defense. He's coming back. He's still learning, right? Just exactly how we did with Josh Dobbs. So I hope that that's not the mindset. Like if he's truly ready to go, I want to see him sooner rather than not. Now, that might be a little selfishness, but might as well go through the bumps and bruises and try to learn this offense, because you got to learn on paper, or you got to learn in the game as opposed to, practice. You can only practice so long. Here's my thing. I just don't want to go into week 11 and then start off the 3 weeks saying, oh, we're week 15. Those are the 3 weeks he needed to, get accustomed to it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, and I don't think it's going to take Kyler Murray 3 weeks. Like, this guy is a franchise quarterback. Like, he knows the offense verbally, like maybe not physically, like doing it, but he knows a good portion of this offense. So I don't know. I'm just ready to see him, man.
Yeah, like it's going to take him some time, but I feel like he's going to come back into his own really fast. If it takes a game or two, that's fine. But in by his third game, I feel like he'll be pretty caught up and he'll understand this scheme pretty well. Because, I mean, Josh Dobbs looked pretty freaking good in his second game playing. Imagine what Kyler Murray's going to do, man. I'm just super pumped. I just cannot wait to see Kyler back on that field. Even if it is against Cleveland, if the coaching staff really believes it, I'm on board. Yeah. All for it. And also, Red Face, baby, we do appreciate you for the contribution, my guy. Thank you for tuning in. Man, I just can't wait. A lot of people are just kind of in that same mindset.
Yeah, so I think Red Face Baby had a comment that wasn't tagged to the super chat. I think it's the one right under there.
Right here?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on this?
I don't think we should release Josh Dobbs.
No, I don't think so either.
Not at all. He's in a contract year too, so if the Cardinals want to part ways with him, I mean, they'll just let him go after this year. But I feel like he's a good change of pace. Like I really do. Even as a backup, I feel like it's a good change of pace just to have someone like that, kind of similar play style. Josh Dobbs, we've seen him make plays with his legs. Obviously, he's not Kyler Murray. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it's just like semi-similar play styles. So like you can do things that you can do with Kyler with Josh Dobbs, and I don't feel like you just let that go. Obviously, you have Clayton Tune too, but you just rock with what you have for the rest of the season. And if that's their goal of moving on with them, then you do that after the offseason.
Here's the thing. I know, and hear me well here, everybody. I know, okay, I can't speak for Mythic, but myself, right? Week to week is something different, right? I was saying last week that if we don't see Clayton Tune, I'm going to be mad. But now hearing that Kyler Murray is coming back, honestly, I don't even mind seeing Josh Dobbs anymore, because to me, I'm not even worried about Josh Dobbs. Yes, I want to win, but Kyler Murray is going to be the headline that I'm looking forward to see. Like, even if it's going to be week 9, week 10, like let's bring Kyler Murray in. Like, that's my mindset.
Exactly. You just got to see what you have. But I'm excited. Cardinals fans are excited. I mean, let's see what we got with this thing. We might see Budda back in action, but that's pretty much going to wrap up today's stream, guys. We do appreciate you guys all for tuning in. We kind of hit the 45-minute mark. AZ Sports Fan is currently on vacation, so we don't want to hold him too long. I mean, he's in.
Appreciate it.
You want to tell him where you're at?
Yeah. Utah. Yeah, so no, that's spectacular, man. That's why I'm wearing this sweater here. It's actually cold outside right now. It's like 40-something, 50-something. So, us Phoenix, our Phoenicians, We don't do good in the cold.
Not at all, man. I mean, as soon as you hit like 60 degrees, and it's sweater weather. Sweater weather's 80 degrees. Let's be honest here.
Yes, factual, very factual.
Like, I don't even know, man. Arizona's something else. A lot. If you're not from here, you won't get it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then also, if you guys do know the schedule, here it is right here. We're typically going live on Monday 10 a.m., Wednesday 7 p.m., and then Friday 10 a.m. The Friday stream, we're not 100% sure yet, but we will keep you guys updated if anything changes. That's the schedule typically. So going forward on to next week, this is what it's going to look like. So if you guys are interested and this is the kind of content you guys are looking for, make sure to smash that subscribe button, man. Like the video, share with everybody. Go share it with your grandma. Go share it with your family. Go share it with all your friends. Go share it with every single person you know, man. And we also have this up on Apple Podcasts as well. So if you want to tune into something on the go, make sure to check us out there. But that's pretty much going to wrap it up, man. I appreciate you for tuning in, even though you're on vacation, man. Crazy news. We kind of just good to cover it, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. Good thing is that I have a awesome wife that she doesn't mind me coming out here talking Cardinals football because I love it, man.
Absolutely, dude. Shout out to her, man. Without her, he's not here today.
True.
So appreciate you for coming on. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in, man. It's been your boy Mythic, though, and it's been your boy AZ Sports Fan. Peace out.
Later, y'all. Peace.